Well, here in downtown Cleveland, Mark Naymik has been monitoring City Hall's response to the snowstorm after new mayor Justin Bibb faced criticism last month. Mark has this report on city streets.
We're Clevelanders, we understand this. I think we're all a little bit more prepared than we were the last time. We did put some additional trucks out on the road, and specifically in the residential area. So our time to respond to all the roads is we're hoping is going to be shorter, but it's going to be a long storm. So we're going to keep at it and keep plowing, and hopefully we can stay ahead of it.
The weather didn't intimidate a food delivery worker, one of a few drivers we found on downtown streets.
I could drive through anything, so if you can't drive through this, then you shouldn't be in Cleveland. You shouldn't be in Cleveland. Like, it's easy, but for the people that don't know how to drive, stay in the house.
Those housebound appreciate the service.
Tips, big tips, a lot of tips. 1 more hour, I made enough, I'm good.
City Hall says it has learned from some of its missteps earlier, especially the lack of communication. That's why they've been very vocal in telling residents on streets like this one to try to move their cars. Believe it or not, there are fewer cars here than there were last month when I covered some of this. They're also trying to be more vocal with their community groups and council members, having them identify hot spots to send cars to. As someone who embraces the winter, I will say this is a pretty hard slap in the face. I can confirm those winds are coming off the lake, as you can see on my right cheek. Now, City Hall also acknowledges they need more crews and more equipment. That can't happen overnight. They're down about 5 vehicles right now that are in the shop, and they are encouraging people to stay off the roads and get those cars off the roads. Sarah?
Yeah, just clear them some space to take care of it. All right, Mark, get warm. We do see the blowing snow coming right for your cheek.
I'd like to embrace summer right about now.
Wouldn't we all?
Is that an option? I don't think so. All right, let's check in with our crews around town now. We know that the east side tends to get beat up worse during many of these winter storms, but is that the case with this one? Brandon Simmons has been on that beat all day. He joins us now. Brandon, good afternoon to you. Where exactly are you, and what are you seeing there?
Hi, we're here in Orange Village. We're right on I-271, right near there between the Harvard exit, which is just south of me. Chagrin Boulevard is just north. I want to show you the conditions now. We've been here pretty much all day, and you can see it's deteriorated a lot from noon when we first showed you this same picture. We're down to about 2 of the, really what's supposed to be a total of 6 lanes here. We got 4 regular lanes and then 2 express lanes, which you probably can't even see there in the background. However, I can tell you all day I have seen a number of ODOT trucks come through here. So for anybody who's wondering whether they are out or not, I can tell you they definitely are. 300 trucks across Northeast Ohio. But just like they're out, we do know we have already seen some people slide off the roads on highways nearby, also on some side streets. We were following a towing company earlier today, and they say they've seen their calls increase 3-fold from what they would see on a normal day. Some of their guys are taking 30 calls at a time. So we know there's a lot of people who are sliding off the road. So as we've all been telling you, we want you to take it slow coming home, and we're starting to see traffic slow down as well in this area. So we do know that people are trying to be careful, but we need you to continue to do that throughout the evening because conditions are getting worse. And we do know people aren't just traveling by road, they're also trying to travel by air, but that's something that's really tough to do right now. We're going to send it over to my colleague Carmen Blackwell. She's at Clevealnd Hopkins Airport with an update.
Brandon, thank you. So let me set the scene up for you guys here. It is definitely a winter wonderland outside. Barely a car in sight. And on the inside of Hopkins Airport, it's pretty much a ghost town. Take a look at this. Every single service desk is empty. A kiosk, I mean, there's literally no one here. And that just goes to show you, when's the last time that we've seen an airport look like this? It's been a while. Let me take you over to the flights board, and you can just see all of the red here. Look at all the canceled flights, over thousands of canceled flights between yesterday and today as well. I think that the only ones that might be delayed is to Detroit, Orlando, and that looks to be about it. Every single flight in here looks to be canceled. Let me also take you really quickly over to the security line as well. There's not a soul in sight. Barely any passengers that are straggling through over at Hopkins. But that's the scene here. I'll turn it over to Austin, who is in Akron. Austin?
Yeah, hey, good evening to you, Carmen. I'm actually live in North Canton right now, where we're just kind of getting pelted by some ice currently right next to the Akron-Canton Airport, where earlier today 20 flights have been canceled. But I'll tell you what, weather-wise here, it's been a smorgasbord of precipitation. It started with rain, then it turned to sleet, freezing rain, and then also some snow. But then it turned back into this freezing rain as well. But taking a live look right now at I-77, where the conditions are right now, it's actually not too bad. Cars are moving at a decent speed. Betsy mentioned it earlier of saying how good ODOT has done, and I'll give them kudos as well. We've been out here, or we were here live here earlier in the morning, and now again this evening, and we've seen them come by about every 10, 12 minutes or so. They've been plowing, they've been salting, they've been doing that brine, but also the big situation here in this area where a lot of the concern is this ice. And if your car's a lot like mine that had to be outside, your windshield most likely be covered in this very thick ice. So if you're coming out, if you need to, with an emergency situation, you need to get into your car, make sure that it's warmed up and all that ice is taken off. But hey, if you don't need to go outside, count your blessings and stay inside. Speaking of inside, back to the studio.
All right, Austin. Yeah, get warm. Definitely see the ice as we see to our south, as Betsy was talking about. Thank you to you and to Brandon and Carmen as well.